Hey there. Thanks for joining. Our lunge advanced class for today is going to use a light kettlebell. That's an 8-kilo bell, and then a 12-kilo bell for like something medium-sized that you can hold overhead. We'll be utilizing the runner's stance into a sprinter overhead forward lunge, pivoting into a sumo overhead squat, pivoting back into a lunge, and repeating from the sprinter stance to the forward overhead sumo, pivoting back into the sprinter stance. I recommend the sprinter series. It's the sprinter clean, intermediate, and advanced classes. We'll start our warm-up by windshield wiping the arms across the chest. One arm on top and then other arm on top. Big swings, shifting the weight from foot to foot. These classes do not contain music, so please turn up your own beats and settle in for a good class. Torso rotation. Your arms hit the sides of your body, your heels lift, and your hips turn. Over the shoulder, one arm across the chest, one arm behind the head. Allow blood to pool into the fingertips. Big arm swing, circle forward, and then circle back. Other arm. And change direction. Place your hands on your hips and make big circles. Include the torso. And then circles in the other direction. Sumo squat stance. Separate your feet wide and pry your thighs open. Feel a big groin stretch. Side lunge. Bend one knee and then bend the other, keeping the opposite leg straight. Sink your hips back, weight in the heels, belly tight. Pivot. The first move is to find a sumo squat, internally rotate your back leg, and drop the knee. The knee hovers off the floor, and we find sumo squat, alternate, other side, pivot, and drop the knee. You're going from a reverse lunge position to a sumo squat position, right and left side. Depending upon the texture of your mat and your shoes, you may need to pick up your entire foot. Low lunge. On your next one, lower your back knee to the mat gently. Press your hands to the top of your thigh and press your hips forward, small pulses. Resist holding the stretch for extended periods. We want to maintain elasticity so the pulses are going to keep you from overstretching. Bring your right hand to the mat, left hand to the sky, and eyes look up. Down dog. Place both hands on the mat. Curl your toe under and lift your back knee up. Rock forward and back, kind of massage and open the hip flexor, and then step both feet back into down dog. Pedal it out. Bend the right knee, bend the left knee, let your shoulders rock, your hips sway, moving your chest closer to your thighs. Now bend your knees a lot and try to get your belly on your thighs. Inhale to a high plank position and exhale back to downward dog. Do this like 4 times. Forward to plank and back to down dog. Hip flexor stretch. On your inhale, lift your right leg, step it through between your hands, and drop your left knee down to the ground. Place both hands on your thighs and make small pulses. Find your lowest point and hold. Twist. Left hand to the mat, right hand to the sky, eyes look up, belly tight. Down dog. Both hands to the mat. Curl your back toes under, lift your knee, and rock forward and back, massaging the hip flexor. When you're ready, step back to a downward dog and pedal it out. Vinyasa. Inhale to a high plank position. Modify with your knees down. Find low push-up. Inhale up dog and shake it out. Exhale down dog. Inhale high plank. Modify knees down. Exhale low push-up. Inhale up dog, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale downward facing dog and pedal it out. 3 breaths. Inhale high plank. Exhale low push-up. Inhale up dog. Exhale down dog. Squat. Step both feet outside your hands and find a deep squat. Pry your thighs open and press your palms together. Lift the chest and tailbone drops. On your exhale, stand all the way up, engage the quads, and lift the kneecaps. Inhale to lower, exhale to stand. Do 10 on your own. Butt kicker. Heels touch your bum. Heels are light. You're on the balls of your feet. Shake out the upper body. Steady breath out the mouth. High knees. Knees lift. Articulate the feet. Point your toes at the top and pump the arms. Keep the breath steady out the mouth. Swing. Using either the light bell or the medium bell, bring the bell forward to the front of the mat. Both hands on the handlebar. Hike through the groin. Exhale to chest height, and through the groin, repeat. If you're not familiar with swing, I recommend the swing series. Your belly is tight, your back is flat, and the handlebar is close to your groin. Cleans. Racket on one side, quarter swing through the legs, and back into rack. If you're not familiar with cleans or press, I recommend the long cycle series. Keep the bell close to the midline of the body. It drops straight down and pulls straight up, just like swings close to the groin. Rack position, elbow is down. Switch sides. Cleans on the other arm. Switch sides. Press. From the overhead position, stack the weight over the shoulder over your hips. Exhale back into rack. Elbow down. Exhale, press into the overhead position. Elbow moves forward on the way up and forward on the way down. Knees bend to help. Switch sides. Alternate hand exchange. Swing and switch hands at the top. On the way up, you change your grip. Nice job. Bell down, grab a water break. Move your bell off the front of the mat, get some water, and shake it out. Overhead sumo squat. Grab your lightest weight. This bell is designed to build confidence in the overhead position, so this is something light enough for you to carry. Bring the bell to the middle of the mat. Step your feet wide, toes open for a sumo squat. Sit low in your squat and hold. Extend your left arm overhead. Find your sumo squat and stand. Do this a couple times without weight. The goal is to keep your bicep by your ear, your chest open, and you'll feel a shoulder stretch at the top like downward dog. Now switch arms. If you're uncomfortable squatting with your arm overhead, then know that the next set you're going to do in rack position. From my profile, you can see that the overhead is a big chest stretch. So my squat will not be full and deep. It'll be more shallow. Resist tipping forward. Keep shoulders over hips. Left hand on bell. Rack it. Press it and hold. Overhead sumo squat. Do 10 on your own. Keep the weight on the outside edges of your feet. Grip with your toes to lift your inner arches. This is going to keep the knees opening wide. Bicep by ear. Bell may have a little bit of wobble as you stabilize in the overhead during the movement. Go as low as you can before you start to feel the bell fall off balance. Switch sides. 10 on this arm. Nice job. Twist hop. Lower the bell and move it to the front of the mat. Shift your hips, light on the heels, and allow your hips to rotate and relax your lower back. Cat-cow. Grab your light or medium-sized weight for your overhead position. Bring the bell to the middle of the mat. Step your feet on either side, hip distance apart. Bend your knees, hands to your thighs. Inhale, lift the chest, arch the back, and exhale, round the spine, push the floor away. Do this 5 times. Row. Place your right hand on the handlebar and step your right leg back. Your left forearm is on your left thigh. Sink into your lunge position. Drop your back heel to the floor for more stability. On your exhale, pull kettlebell to hip bone and lower. Exhale, row. We're engaging your lats, preparing you for the sprinter clean and sprinter snatch. Do 3 more, and then we'll hop and change our feet to switch. Both hands on the handlebar, hop and switch feet. Row, do a total of 5 on this side. Jump switch. Place the bell down, handlebar east and west. Both hands on the handlebar, bell under the chest, hop and switch your feet. Do 8. Leg raise. Our right leg is back. Right leg lifts to the sky and lowers. Heel rises, and then toe comes all the way back down. Do 6 in total. Hop to switch, 6 on the other side. Try to keep a flat back, tight belly. Sprinter snatch with a forward lunge. Hop and switch your feet. Your left leg is forward and your right leg is back. Eyes on me. I'm going to do this one without the bell first. I recommend the Sprinter Clean series for more information on this move. Belly tight. Step forward into the overhead position. So try it without the bell first. Make sure that you have enough room in your space to be able to accommodate the lunge forward. Here I do it with the bell. I step forward into the overhead and I'm in my lunge. We'll reset by stepping back through rack and placing it down. We'll switch legs. Now my right leg is forward, left hand on bell. The bell goes further back behind me. Brace with the core, big forward lunge, straight into the overhead position. Step back through rack and reset. Right leg back, right hand on bell. Step forward to the overhead and reset. Alternate between right and left sides on your own. The most important component is driving through the forward leg, keeping inner thighs active and belly tight to brace and support the load. The Sprinter Snatch is covered in the Sprinter Clean Advanced class. Can you do one more on each side? Nice job. Water break. Move your bell forward off the front of the mat, get some water, and shake out your legs. This move will elevate your heart rate drastically. So do what you can to cool down. The next component of our lunge complex is the pivot. The pivot is from the sumo squat position. We internally rotate, drop the knee into a lunge position. So we'll start without weight, step your right leg back into lunge. Now we're usually in this sprinter stance, but this time we're gonna stack the shoulders over the hips, drop the knee, and hold. Your belly is tight. Pivot through the sumo and turn to the other direction. Pivot through the sumo and turn to the other direction. Again, depending upon the surface of your mat and your shoes, you may need to pick up your entire foot to pivot. Your belly is braced. Scoop through the core the entire time. Let's try it with weight. Use your lightest bell first to get the feel of it. Rack the bell on your right side. Step to the middle of your mat. We'll start with our left leg forward and our right leg back. Find your lunge and hold. Pivot into a sumo squat and pivot to the back. Step forward and reset. Again, the left leg is going to be forward, pivot, sumo squat, and then face the back of the mat. Reset. This time we'll go all the way forward, sumo squat, face the back, step forward again. Sumo squat, turn the other direction, now face the front. Step forward again. Sumo squat, pivot, face the back. Step forward, sumo squat, pivot, face the front. Step forward, sumo squat, pivot, face the back. Step forward, sumo squat, pivot, face the front. Nice job. Put your bell down, shake it out, jump jacks. Crunch and twist. Elbows wide. Crunch and chop down towards your alternate knee. Belly tight. Feel your lower back stretch and release. Pivot on the other side. Grab your light bell, rack it in your left hand. Walk to the middle of your mat. Step your right leg forward. Your opposite foot is moving forward. Pivot to the sumo squat. Pivot and face the back of your mat. Step forward and reset. Face the front, we start from the beginning. Right leg steps forward, lunge, pivot, sumo squat, pivot, face the back of the mat, and then reset. On this next one, we'll go for a full rotation. Right leg forward, sumo squat, face the back, step forward, sumo squat, pivot, face the front. Again, step forward, pivot, sumo squat, pivot, face the back, step forward, pivot, sumo squat, face the front. Again, step forward, staying low, pivot, Stay low in the lunge, face the back, step forward, stay low, pivot, stay low, face the front, and done. Nice job. Bells go forward and shake out your legs. Now we'll do the entire complex, combining both halves into one move. We'll do it first together without weight. Starting your sprinter stance with your right leg forward. Step forward lunge on the left leg. Pivot, sumo squat. Pivot, face the back. And bell will lower into the sprinter position. Sprinter stance lunge forward. Pivot, sumo squat. Pivot, face the back. And lower the imaginary bell back in your sprinter stance. Step forward, sumo squat, pivot, face the back, lower the bell on the ground for your sprinter. Step forward, sumo squat, pivot, face the front of the mat, and lower the bell in sprinter. All right, before we begin, let's release in a child's pose. Come down onto the mat, knees are bent, hips back to heels. Now press the hips forward into modified plank. Exhale to child's pose, inhale to modified plank. Go forward and back. Micro push-up. Hips come forward, modified plank, bend the elbows, small pulses. Do 10. Elbows pull behind you towards your rib cage. Teeny tiny pulses. Baby cobra. Lower your belly all the way to the ground. Slide your hands by your ribs. Inhale, head and chest up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Neutral neck and eyes look down. Press back to a child's pose. Hip thrust. Let's transition into a standing position. Hop both feet outside hands and hop both feet back. Do this 2 more times, then come up to a standing position. Walking lunge complex. I'll do the first set on my own so you can watch and see. The bell will be in between my feet, my right leg forward, left leg back, left hand on the bell. As I step forward, I snatch to the overhead position, hold. Then I pivot to the sumo squat. I pivot to the back. Then I lower the bell in the snatch down to the ground for sprinter. Repeating again, stepping, pivoting, pivot again, lower the bell to reset. So now we'll do it together. Our first set will be in rack position. Left leg back, step forward into rack. Sumo squat, pivot, face the back, and lower the bell in the sprinter stance. Step forward into rack. Sumo squat in rack, pivot, and reset with the bell down. Let's try it overhead. Step forward, overhead position. Sumo squat in overhead. Pivot, lower the bell, reset. Step forward, overhead. Sumo squat, pivot, reset, bell down. Step forward, overhead. Pivot, sumo squat, pivot, face the back, and lower the bell, reset. Step forward, big lunge, sumo, face the front, now bell down. Nice job, give yourself a hand. That's so hard and tiring, but we gotta do the other arm. So bring the bell back, in between the feet. We'll start in rack position. Right leg back, right hand on handlebar. Step forward into rack position. Sumo squat, pivot, face the back, lower the bell and reset sprinter stance. Step forward, rack it. Sumo squat, pivot, reset bell down. Now we'll go overhead. Step forward, snatch, overhead position. Sumo squat, pivot, face the back, bell down, and reset. Step forward, snatch, sumo squat, pivot, bell down, reset. One more rotation. Step forward, snatch, overhead, pivot, sumo squat, pivot to the back, bell down, and reset. Step forward, overhead, sumo squat, pivot, bell down, reset. Nice job. Give yourself a really big hand. Shake it out, celebrate. We made it to our recovery. Get some water, shake it out, and let's come down to the ground. Windshield knees. Lay all the way down on your back. Knees are bent, feet to the floor, hip distance apart, and rock your knees side to side. Slowly catch your breath. Figure 4. Cross your left ankle on top of your right thigh. Come up to your forearms and lift the chest. Flex your foot and move your knee away from your chest. Lengthen your spine and pause. Harder, come up to your palms and close the gap between your shin and your chest. Twist. Drop your knees over. Sit bones are level. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to turn. Inhale, get taller. Exhale, eyes look further back. Quad stretch. Release your twist. Extend your left leg forward, right leg back. Heel against your hip bone. Lay back into a reclined position on your forearms or all the way down on the mat. Keep both knees grounded and breathe. Figure 4. Inhale to release. Switch legs. Right ankle crosses over left thigh. Foot flexed on forearms, or you can come up to palms. Move the knee away from the chest. Broad neck. Twist. Drop your knees over. Sit bones are level. Inhale to lengthen the spine and exhale to turn. Inhale, belly pulls in tighter. Exhale, eyes look further back. Quad stretch on the other side. Extend your left leg forward or your right. You're just switching legs. Bring your opposite heel to your hip bone. You're on the top of the foot. Roll the calf muscle away and then recline back, either on your forearms or all the way down on the ground. Inhale to come up and find any comfortable seated position. Place your hands on your thighs and make big circles forward with your torso. Inhale, chest comes forward, and exhale, round back. For a more extensive recovery, I recommend the Lunge Stretch class. The stretch class is going to have specific counter movements and stretches for your lower body. Roll your shoulders by your ears and press them away a few times. Take a moment to understand how amazing you are for doing the lunge complex. Maybe give yourself another hand. Thank you for joining me. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.